Wow, buddy, I did not recognize you. Gordon Mosley. Oh my gosh, honey,
Yeah?
Gordo and I went to school together like, I don't
Oh,
know, what,
really?
80 years ago.
Oh my God.
Well, Grandma, I think I need to preface this movie a little bit in that this thriller that we went to, The Gift, it's got lots of plot twists and lots of things we don't want to give away.
Such as
But,
the ending.
well, yes, the ending and a lot of again plot twists. So we're going to do our best to not give it away for our friends out there. But what? Let me preface, give a little summary of the beginning of the movie. Again, it's a young couple. They move to a new city, and they run into one of the husband's old classmates from high school, and various strange things happen. Well, what would you say about The Gift, Grandma?
I think, for one thing, the title of the film is quite ironic, and you'll have to go to see the film to figure out what I mean by that. But the tension that is built in the film as the story progresses, I thought was beautifully done. For another reason than in former films, I was holding my breath a lot in this film because the tension was quite well handled. You shared the building paranoia in the one of the leading characters, the wife. She was very unsure what was happening and very unsure how to respond to what was happening. I thought the filmmakers did that beautifully. I was right there with her, you know.
Well, again, through most of the movie, you're sort of put in her place.
Yes.
And all of this, the past of the husband and the classmate is sort of, she finds out about it at the same time the audience finds out about it. And it was sort of, everything's unfolded that way through most of the movie.
You know, it was the building of the tension, an occasional shock. I went like this a couple of times, you know,
Right.
because I was as shocked as the character in the film. It was surprise. Several things that happened were a surprise. Intentionally, they wanted us to be surprised.
Well, it's a thriller.
It was thrilling.
It wouldn't be working if it didn't have a thriller to it.
No. So.
Well, again, one thing that we've talked about in previous films is that they didn't really do a very good job of setting it up. They didn't go into the characters enough in depth. You didn't really get much of a feel for the characters when the sort of the main part of the story got going, you might say. They did spend a long time sort of really getting you comfortable, familiar with the characters, sort of knowing their life, the way they are.
Actually, I was wondering, you know, why things weren't going a little faster.
Yeah, again,
at the beginning of the film, because we were.
Yeah.
It was just so ordinary life.
It did seem, you know, almost a little boring the way it was going along.
I was wondering.
But again,
okay, when are we going to get into the story here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it paid off as the film went on. That again, you didn't know them well, and again, or not so well, perhaps. But again, you had a feeling for them one way, and so when plot twists arose, you were surprised. It was different than the way you became familiar with it. And again, that's the way the characters were. The characters were all familiar with them being one way, and when things changed, it was a surprise to them.
Yeah, well,
And-
here you have this young couple, obviously working their way up in their chosen professions, moving from one area of the country to another, buying this beautiful new home,
Right.
settling in, and bit by bit we discover that things in the past hadn't been, quite as rosy as they looked when the
Right.
film started.
I just didn't really care for it. I mean, again, some people may go to it just for the jolts here and there, but I didn't really care for it. I didn't think that it quite worked.
Well, it's an unsettling idea to realize the effect that an idea may have on some other person's life, an idea that you are responsible for, and
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job of sort of making their point,
How-
which again, the film all ended up having a point,
and
believe it or not.
well, and
Uh,
the gift at the end, if I could say this much about it, was the planting of another idea. Only this time, the idea is planted in the husband's mind. And what difference is that going to make in his life? That is what I mean by the story's not over.
Yeah, I mean, the story may not be over, but frankly, I don't really care.
Got it.
I don't care what difference it makes in his
I
life,
didn't really
or
care about these
the
people.
wife's life, or the classmate's life. I didn't care about any of them.
Can we care about the little baby that just got born?
Well, but again, I didn't care about any of these characters. Again, when something happened, good or bad, I didn't care about them. When there was a plot twist, okay, people weren't perhaps what you thought they were,
I think
but again,
you're-
I didn't really care.
I think you've made a good point, because I empathized with the woman, but I agree. I didn't really care about her. I didn't really care for her. She wasn't a woman that grabbed me.
I mean, so while it was it's sort of an interesting story, at least in the way it was constructed and the way they were able to unfold all of these plot twists and such, that's just not very interesting. I mean, in the long run, you want to care something about the characters or get involved in the story. And while you again may have empathized with the wife some, I didn't have any sort of feelings for any of them really. I just didn't care for it. But I could appreciate some of the writing involved, especially.
So what you're saying is you can appreciate the technical quality of the movie making,
Yeah.
but you didn't really care for the movie as a whole.
No.
Okay.
No, I did. Again,
Well, I don't think it's a thumbs up for me either. Not even a one thumb.
no thumbs. Okay,
No thumbs today. Sorry.
that's fine. There.
I think we tend to agree. I think we saw the same film.
Yeah. Again, it had its points, but again, nothing worth recommending. I wouldn't say. Right?
I don't recommend it, no.
Okay. Well, better luck next week.
Sorry, folks.
Okay.